Hey, Mountain View, just thinking about Easter and thinking about Holy Week. Two disciples come to mind. One of those is Peter, one of those is Judas. These are two guys that made some serious blunders leading up to the crucifixion, and they handled it in very different ways. It's a fascinating case study when you think about Peter, who denied Jesus 3 times, that he even knew him. This is one of the closest disciples to Jesus. And then, of course, Judas betrays Jesus for 30 pieces of silver, basically hands him over to be arrested. And it's interesting because, not that they both blew it, because they both blew it in a big way, but how they responded to their guilt. Both of them showed sorrow. The Bible says Peter wept bitterly, that Judas was in grief over what he had done, threw the money back at the Pharisees and told them he didn't want it. And then Judas went out and hung himself. And Peter went back to his friends, disciples, went back to fishing. And then obviously we know the rest of the story. Jesus restored Peter, and Judas was no longer there because he had committed suicide. And thinking about those two and the contrast there, I think it's important to understand that Peter understood the grace of God and Judas did not. Peter knew, even though he was distraught, that Jesus could still restore him. Judas did not. Judas, his church was the Pharisaical church. You can't be forgiven. You've done something too terrible. Peter's church was the true church, the church of Jesus, the one where the Bible talks about God's anger in Psalm 30 lasts a moment, but his favor lasts a lifetime. We serve a God of grace. We serve a God of justice, certainly, but we also serve a God who loves and gives second chances. And so as you think about those two guys today, think about how you respond to when you mess up. Do you think that you've done too much to ever be forgiven, or do you know that you can fall on God's grace? And yeah, we don't want to take advantage of God's grace, but at the same time, remember these two men and the way they responded, and let it be a lesson to us today as we lead up to Easter, as we were reminded of God's grace. His grace is sufficient for you. Have a great day at Mountain View. God bless.